What?
It's time for the most surprising revelations from Season 3 of Outer Banks. Let's figure out who's the most unlucky actor on the set.
Fucking triple flipper? I don't know.
Which scene is seemingly cursed?
Suspense. Ooh, mystery. Twists.
And what was the hottest improv of OBX Season 3?
Drew Starkey and Jonathan Davis' sexy asses back on my screen in 2023.
The unluckiest pogue on the set. One day, the universe decided to turn against Chase Stokes. 3 incidents happened to him, one after another. First, he got injured in the strangest way.
So I'm leaning against a tree, and next thing you know, my arm is on fire. And I'm like, what is going on? So one of our Bayesian crew members looks at me and says, that's poison tree sap, and that's all over your arm. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
To add insult to injury, soon after, a bird dive-bombed into his head.
It was a full-on, like, jerked my body forward.
But that wasn't the end. He got one more unpleasant surprise.
So I'm like, oh, wow, it's raining. And I look up, and immediately he says, nope, not rain, that's monkeys peeing. And a monkey literally pees directly in my eyeball.
Thank God the day ended without any serious injuries. Unfortunately, Chase did get a concussion on set while filming. All because of a miscommunication with Rudy Paincow.
We were getting out of the plane, and I was holding up this window to the plane, and you said go! You said go!
So, Rudy accidentally crippled Chase.
The window comes and smacks this poor gent in the head so hard.
I was concussed.
But Stokes wasn't the only one who had bad luck on set. The cursed scene. Some scenes required multiple takes to get right. Several of them were physically challenging to film.
Elevator shaft for me. I'm very afraid of heights. I'm going up.
The actors occasionally struggled with their lines.
You know what? I don't remember my line.
But there was one scene that seemed to take forever to shoot. Why? It was plagued by a string of misfortunes.
5 times we tried to schedule it, and 5 times we got rained out.
Lightning delay.
Every time.
Rain delay.
Every time. We started to think that the scene was cursed.
Now, let's move on to the scene that Madelyn labeled the craziest to film. A fake enemy. For Chase and Madelyn, the most insane moment in the whole show was their fight with an alligator. Obviously, the animal was fake. However, there was a secret behind it.
Really large toy gator that was put on like a rotisserie stick, and there was somebody in the water off camera, literally making it roll around.
So, in that scene, Sarah is basically fighting with
Roast chicken gator.
Still, she was lucky she didn't have an interaction with a real one. The alligators were near. Ultimately, when you're filming in the jungle, there's a big chance you are going to encounter these reptiles. It's a scary thought, right? And Madison Bailey had to act right by the gator's family.
There's a scene this season where we're at a boat on the river. That's not a spoiler for our show. And there were a couple of baby gators in the water.
There were a bunch of other representatives of nature on set too. Huge bees visited them during the filming.
I would be impressed as shit if somebody could do
Occasionally, they had to film with wild monkeys scurrying nearby.
Hello, baby. Come here. You want? Here you go. I got more.
But it wasn't only the jungle that made filming challenging. Out in the ocean. Yes, the cast members had to sail away for a few days to catch the most incredible moments. The whole team had no other choice but to live together on the same tiny boat.
We ate together, we slept on that boat in their kitchen.
We had our pillows
yes.
lunch table.
At some point, the filming became not just uncomfy, but really dangerous. While they were filming a swimming scene, Madison started getting carried away by the waves.
We're in the middle of the ocean. We didn't shoot that on shore like we could have.
Yeah.
And and then I remember the boat pulled out where they're supposed to pick us up, and we're just both drifting with the water. They're not getting any closer.
Luckily, Bailey's co-stars saved her life.
Chase and JD just jumped in and literally pulled me onto the boat.
thank God the cast of the show are Pogues IRL. The actors from Outer Banks share a ton of traits with their characters. Rudy Paincow can be as erratic as JJ. JD can sometimes be an oddball, just like Pope.
Flying fish in the sky, I can go twice as high.
And Madison Bailey spent her whole childhood living the Pogue lifestyle. She's from North Carolina, where the OBX plot is set, and was raised not too far from the real Outer Banks spot.
Growing up with my siblings and just living a very simple
life. Yeah.
And we spent so much time outside and
that's important.
Building forts.
Maddie's early years were also all about fishing, going out on the water and looking for crazy adventures. Chase Stokes seems to be John B's soulmate. He spent a lot of time surfing in his early years and found entertainment in ways that weren't exactly legal. We'd go down to the beach and break into the surf shop pool, use fake IDs at the Hilton, and get whatever beers we could. Moreover, this guy totally understands his character's struggles. He's also had a hard time with money.
I was living in the parking lot. That was my home for a period of time.
Perhaps that is the reason why he portrays John B so well. Improvs are welcomed. Considering how well the actors fit their roles, they were allowed to change things up. Lots of Sarah and Kiara's conversations weren't always scripted.
There's a lot of improv.
We end up talking as ourselves.
The most juicy improv of the third season? This affectionate moment between Pope and Cleo.
What's written in the script is just a cheek kiss.
Even if they didn't write it in the script, me and JD had it was like, oh well.
I love
At
that.
the end of the day, we were just gonna do it and it was gonna be on
Just
camera.
and I'm like, Pope needs it. Like, come on.
JD and Carlacia Grant definitely took their inspo from Sarah and John B's kiss.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to match.
This iconic moment was also done spontaneously. The co-stars just couldn't resist smooching in the rain. And with all their shared emotions and experiences, the whole cast became almost inseparable. Hidden messages. It's not a secret that the actors are together around the clock. Even when they're not filming, JD and Rudy Paincow are doing something together.
I'm gonna drop it like it's hot.
And what happens if the Pogues and Cooks actors can't be together? They invent their own ways to keep in touch. When the actors had to quarantine in Barbados, Carla, Madelyn, and Madison played a prison letters game.
She would send me something and I would send her something and write little notes on the chip, so she had to open the bag to see like what I wrote in there.
It's a great reason why the cast became so close. Besides the show, they have other things in common too. The cast could form a band. What can the cast of OBX do besides film a hit show? They can definitely create their own band. Austin North is a master at playing drums. Rudy Paincow can play several musical instruments at one time: drums, piano, and harmonica. Madelyn's a great guitarist. And Madison could be the vocalist, especially as she often shares her own covers on social media.
Would you let me leave you even when you're blind?
Do you want to know more facts about the cast and see their funniest moments on set? Check out our next video about Outer Banks bloopers.